Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I have chicken nuggets on the oven cooling off for him, so he's going to be all up in my business until he gets another chicken nugget. First one I had to blow it off for him and he's just drooling. Well, there's a little, tidbit on my day. I have two things. Two stories. One's a book, Blue Like Jazz by, who is it? Donald Miller. Yeah, I picked this book up, oh man, at a garage sale close to 10 years ago. Well, let's see, there's a coupon in here from 2010. Rio wraps. Where the heck is that? Pizza Popolis. Where did this come from? The Henry Ford Museum. Wow. Oh, this is... And it expires... April 1st of 2009. Well, this ain't good no more. First story is not going to be from this book. It's going to be from a movie I watched last night. And you know what? I'm like, I needed to hear that. So maybe you need to hear it too. It's about a farmer and the mule. So a farmer found a mule that was injured, hurt, and dying. So he decided to dig a well, a massive hole for this mule. And he proceeded to push the mule into this hole, and with every shovel of dirt that went over this mule, he realized, the mule did, he could shake it off and have that dirt go beneath him. So with every shovel of dirt that was poured over him, he used it to slowly get out of the well. And it also gave him the strength to get up and fight to keep living. And I heard that story and I'm like, you know what, that makes me feel like now, of all the things that have been used to bury me, is exactly what I needed to find that motivation to keep going. Well, there's that story. And on to the next one is chapter 7, titled Grace, the Beggar's Kingdom. So this guy did or went through what I'm going through, with me having tried to discipline myself, walk the straight and narrow, be perfect. So let me just read this first page. So bear with me. I'll try not to read like a fool. I was a fundamentalist Christian once. It lasted a summer. I was in that same phase of trying to discipline myself to behave as if I loved light and not behave as if I loved darkness. I used to get really ticked about preachers who talked too much about grace because they tempted me not to be disciplined. I figured what people needed was a kick in the butt. And if I failed at godliness, it was because those around me weren't trying hard enough. I believed if word got out about grace, the whole church was going to turn into a brothel. I was a real jerk, I think. I hit my self-righteous apex when working at a fundamentalist Christian camp in Colorado. I was living in a cabin in the Rockies with about 7 other guys, and the whole lot of us fell into this militant Christianity that says you should live like Navy SEALs for Jesus. I am absolutely ashamed to admit this now. We would fast all the time, pray together twice a day, memorize scripture, pat each other on the back, and that sort of thing. Summer was coming to a close, and we were getting pretty proud of ourselves because we had read a great deal of scripture and hadn't gotten anybody pregnant. We were concerned, however, about what to do after we split up, thinking that if we didn't have each other, we'd fall apart and start selling drugs to kids. One of us, and it was probably me, decided to create a contract that listed things we wouldn't do for an entire year. I did this. I did that. Like watch television or smoke pipes or listen to music. It was the constitution of our self-righteous individualism. The contract stated we would read the Bible every day, pray, and memorize certain long passages of scripture. Dang, does this sound familiar? We sat around one night with pen and paper and offered sacrifices, each of us trying to outman the other with bigger and brighter lambs for the slaughter. We were the direct opposite of a frat house. Instead of fueling our testosterone into binge drinking and rowdy parties, we were manning up to Jesus, bumping him chest to chest, as it were, like Bible salesmen on steroids. I hitched a ride back to Oregon and got in an apartment in the suburbs where I didn't know anybody and nobody knew me. I had this necklace on my neck. That sounded weird. This string of beads, each bead representing one of the guys in the contract, and a cross in the center. A reminder that we had all gone in on this thing, that we were going to be monks for a year. Like I was going to be a nun. Woo! Okay, at first it was easy, living in a new place and all, a new city, but after a while that necklace started to choke me. I will say, the beginning of my year cutting everything off was great. I was high on life, high on Jesus. And I did have a necklace that I wore representing that, and I bet you guys can find it in the videos and know which one I'm talking about. The first of the exploits to go was the Bible. It wasn't that I didn't want to read it or didn't agree with it. I would just forget. It sat on the floor next to my bed beneath a pile of dirty clothes. Out of sight, out of mind. I'd forget about it for a month until I cleaned my room, and then I'd lift up a pile of dirty clothes and there would be my Bible, staring up at me like a dead pet. That's pretty gruesome. One evening, I was walking around Pioneer Square in downtown Portland when I noticed a pipe and tobacco store across the street. I decided I'd step inside and take a look-see. I came out with a new pipe that I swore I wouldn't smoke till the year was up. I love how I find books that I got years and years ago that I tried to read and just couldn't get into it, and then I randomly just pick it up and it hits exactly what's going on in my life and what season I'm in. Anyways, his pipe was a good deal, you know, after about $15 or something. I couldn't pass up the sale on tobacco either, even though it would go bad before the contract expired. I sat down in Pioneer Square with the skateboarders and musicians, chess players and coffee drinkers. I decided to pack my pipe, just to get a feel for it. I stuck it in my mouth to bring back that sensation, the feel of the stem between my teeth. Then I lit it, and then I smoked it. After the Bible and the pipe thing fell apart, I decided to yield a bit on the television aspect of the contract. There was this indie pizza place down the street from my apartment, Escape from New York Pizza or something like that. And they had a big screen television. I'd go down and watch Monday Night Football, which was a double sin because on Mondays we were supposed to be fasting. I figured none of the guys would mind if I switched the fasting day to Wednesday, just to shuffle things around. I shuffled so many fasting days around that after 3 months I was supposed to go 12 days without eating. I think I fasted twice that year, maybe. I hated the entire year. Hated it. I felt like a failure every morning. I hated looking in the mirror because I was a flop. I got ticked at all the people who were having fun with their lives. I'd walk home from the pizza place feeling criminal for my mischief, feeling as though I were not cut out to be a Christian, wondering what my punishment would be for disobeying God. Everything was failing. I'd get letters from the other guys too, some of them doing quite well, and I wouldn't answer them. Not only was I failing God, I was failing my fundamentalist brothers. I'm not going to continue. I think that's enough reading for today. Why did I give you these two stories, the mule and the blue like jazz? Because that's what's going on, man. That's what's going on. I'm definitely going to continue reading because obviously he's got more insight that I need at this time in my life. I'm throwing it off, you guys. I'm just going to say I'm making a new New Year's resolution, and that is to not try to be anything. To not make any promises. I want to stop feeling as though I'm a failure in every way because I am not perfect. Perfection is my enemy. Because I do believe we're supposed to enjoy this life. Not sure where I can go from here. I'm still going to try, don't get me wrong, to progress, to improve, to be better, to find purpose. But obviously, it's not going to be by me acting as though I can enjoy my life when I am setting myself up for failure. I'm just gonna keep on shaking off the dirt that's trying to bury me. Make it out of the well. That's my New Year's resolution. To be the mule that survived what was supposed to kill him. Okay, I think your chicken nuggets are cooled off now. I'll go get them.